I'm Matt Brown. I'm the Executive Director of OARS. We're the watershed organization for the Sudbury, Assabet, and Concord rivers. And today's a really special day. So we launched this challenge called the 86 Miles Challenge, which for most people is a challenge to paddle 86 miles from May until the end of September. It's a way to just promote recreational use of our rivers. There's a lot of stigma about our rivers not being clean or great for recreation, when in fact they're amazing. They're a great resource for all the communities. There's 36 cities and towns in our watershed, so we just wanted to have something that would just get people on the water and get people thinking about paddling on our rivers. The reason we're here today is because Chester Ozzy Osbourne heard about the challenge and decided he wanted to do it in 2 days, which is really, really hard.
How's your day? My name is Chester Osbourne. People tend to call me Ozzy. I left my house at 1 a.m. this morning after never really going to bed, and put my canoe in Hudson, Massachusetts, in the Assabet River. Now I'm here in Billerica, some, I think 35 miles later. But I've just turned around uphill after portaging, and I'll go another 20 miles up to Fairhaven Bay, sleep a couple hours, and then go up to Marlborough tomorrow to the Getchell Conservation Area, and turn around and come back to Bedford, Carlisle on Route 225 for a total of 86 miles in under 48 hours of continuous and contiguous canoeing. Wow.
So when he came to us, he asked us to help support the project. So we've been coordinating, getting permission with property owners to allow for portages over spots where you can't paddle. Like here, we're at the Talbot Mills Dam. He also had to portage through the town of Maynard, which was about a mile walk, and then another portage over the Gleasondale Dam in Stowe. So we arranged for that.
We have about 86 miles of paddleable river in the watershed. When I heard about it, I thought, why not try to do it at once? Every year, I try to plan a canoeing endurance event that's so hard. I don't know if I can really do it. I do a bit of whitewater paddling, but I enjoy the marathon canoeing. So for example, 2 years ago, I actually did the same portage this way when I canoed from my house to Maynard to the ocean, following the path the drop of water would take over 2 days, which was 62 miles and 5 miles of carrying this boat, mostly on my head, not on wheels. But yeah, so fun excuse to get outside.
So we've had a number of volunteers helping with the pacing, which is basically keeping him company and keeping him at his target pace, which is what I've been doing. I actually picked him up at 2 o'clock in the morning in Bedford, drove him to Hudson. He got in the water himself because no one's allowed to touch his boat for this. And then I went back to bed for 3 hours and then met him again in Concord, and he and I paddled the about 13 miles from Concord to here, portaged over the dam, and then did 5 more miles. And now I am ready to go home and have some food and probably go to bed.
I capsized this morning at about 3:30 a.m. in the one and only rapid, which I've run before, but I never run it in the dark, except for this light in a non-whitewater boat, so that was fun. Took a little swim, but that's fun.
So when it gets really, really hard, how do you keep going?
That's a great question. Just do. I mean, I'd love to give you some cliche answer, but you just think about how lucky you are to be doing this, you know?
Yeah.
OARS also partnered with Concord Land Conservation Trust, which is another amazing nonprofit organization, and they're giving him permission to camp on Scout Island in Fairhaven Bay, which is about 20 miles from here, and that's gonna wrap up today's paddle.
And the question is, will I get there before dark? And I don't know.
What's your ETA?
I don't know. This morning I was going almost 5 miles per hour, which is pretty fast. And then there were some slower sections because there's low water and a lot of trees I had to get out and drag my boat across. It's roughly analogous to like hiking, you know? So I've already done the Presidential Traverse. That's what it feels like. And now I'm like, oh, I'll go do half of that again. And as you notice, There's no 300-pound bench press here. There's no 4.5-minute runner's mile. It's about not stopping and trying to be smooth while simultaneously drinking water, eating food, taking care of your body, you know?
It's just an amazing opportunity to highlight some really beautiful scenic sections of our rivers in a 2-day period.
So it's the 86 Mile Club because it's about 86 contiguous miles of paddling available to a paddler. Oars was founded in 1986. Ron Swanson, libertarian in me, believes we should all contribute to what we enjoy. So thank you, Oars, for your good work.
Thank you for taking this on. This is huge, man.
And there's a check for $860 of value well earned.
Thank you. We do a lot more than recreation. Actually, recreation is a tiny part of what we do. Most of the work we do is our science-based water quality monitoring, ecological restoration projects such as the dam removal that we're working on in town here. We do invasive species management. We do a lot of water chestnut pulls to keep them out of the river. And we also sponsor and hold a big annual 3-river cleanup every year. So there's a lot of great ways to get involved. We offer free community paddles in 3 places. We offer them here in Billerica once a month. We offer them in Maynard and Framingham at Kellogg Park once a month. If you're interested in doing this, but you're not sure where to go or how to start, you could definitely check out our website, sign up for a free river recreation activity team or River Rats Paddle. We're actually, our Billerica spot's right upstream from here at the DPW yard. It's a great opportunity to get some miles, meet some people. We have both paper and online recreation maps that have prescribed kind of scenic paddles throughout the watershed. So if you go to oars3rivers.org and click on the recreation maps, you can find a paddle in your town. It'll tell you where to put in, how many miles it is, what notable historic sites or natural sites there are, and also if it's a difficult paddle or not. That's a great resource, and if you want, we have paper maps too that are available at most of the put-ins. So they're free, grab them, they're grant funded, we're glad that we can give them out, and they're a great resource for anyone who wants to get on the water. But if you don't want to do any of that, if you just want a real simple place to start, and you have a boat, I think the Lowell Road put-in in Concord is super easy to get to, super easy to put your boat in the water, and it's where all 3 rivers meet. It's a place called Egg Rock, so you could go down the Concord, you can go up the Sudbury or up the Assabet, or do some kind of combination of all 3. It's a really special place, and I'd love for more people to see it and experience it for themselves. It's the confluence of all 3 rivers, and yeah, I can't recommend that one more than, I mean, it's a great spot. It's my favorite spot on our river system.
Matt mentioned the confluence of the Assabet and the Sudbury River becoming the Concord River. The paper map measures distances from the confluence of the Concord River with the Merrimack. So, back to the paper map, I can add information on Billerica access to the Concord River. Starting downstream, 21 Lowell Street at the North Billerica Fire Station. It has a nice access. Then we go upstream, not by boat, because you'd have to go over the falls. We go upstream to 250 Boston Road. You already seen pictures of that. And then shortly after that, Contribution Park by Brown's Corner. Nice place to put it. Further upstream is Bartlett's Landing, 56 Morgan Road. A little bit after that, upstream is Randlett Grove at the end of Cardinal Lane. It's a bit of a maze, but it's a very nice place to put it. Further upstream, Katie Durant Memorial Park at 8 Carter Ave. That's right across from the Riverview restaurant. It's an excellent breakfast place, cash only.
The challenge is still going on, and anyone who's interested in doing it in a more reasonable amount of time, you know, between June and the end of September, can sign up on our website. It's a lot easier if you spread it out over several months and not 2 days. and it's a lot of fun. And you can do the same mile 86 times if you really want. We're really lowering the bar and making it as accessible as possible for people. We're a great organization to support, and we're trying to get the word out for that. And this type of event is helping do that. You know, we want you to come in for the recreation, but stay for the science and ecological based work that we do as well.